Have you ever thought about the laws of credit? Welcome to Your Clear Thinking. I'm Roderick Mitchell, author of Credit Straight Talk, Clarity on the Conspiracy. This video is part of a series of videos designed to help you build a solid credit foundation. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the laws of credit. The laws of credit begin with the Consumer Protection Act, the CCPA. I call it the game changer. The Consumer Protection Act forms the basis of a variety of consumer protection laws that were enacted in the years since 1969. Lawmakers determined that there should be no secret databases used to make decisions about consumers. Individuals have the right to see and challenge all information in databases, and that information must expire after a reasonable period of time. The CCPA has 5 parts that are important to all consumers. Part 1, the Truth in Lending Act, is the federal law enacted in 1969 to protect consumers in dealing with creditors and lenders. It ensures that creditors provide complete and honest information. Part 2, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, regulates credit reports. Part 3, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, prevents creditors from discriminating against individuals. Part 4, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, establishes rules for debt collections. It prohibits third-party agencies from harassing, threatening, and inappropriately contacting a consumer who owes money. Part 5 is the Electronic Funds Transfer Act, which protects consumers' funds and finances during electronic transfer. Now I will cover each law and give the details of the Consumer Credit Protection Act. From this point, I will refer to it as the CCPA. Part 1 of the CCPA is the Truth in Lending Act, TILA, which is a 4-part law that promotes a stable economy and enforces consumer rights. A major regulation of the CCPA to be familiar with is Regulation Z. Regulation Z is used to implement TILA and is usually mentioned with that act. Regulation Z requires lenders to disclose and explain upon request interest rates, grace periods, payment terms, and any other charges involved with a loan or credit. Part A of TILA is the Fair Credit Billing Act. It provides a roadmap for disputes related to billing, including unauthorized charges, math errors, and incorrect information. Part B of TILA is the Fair Credit and Charge Card Disclosure Act. It requires financial companies and institutions to disclose information including interest rates, grace periods, and annual fees before card renewal and when issuing consumers a new credit or charge card. Part C of TILA is the Home Equity Loan Consumer Protection Act. It requires lenders to disclose key information before issuing a home equity loan. This act is similar to the Fair Credit and Charge Card Disclosure Act in reference to mandatory disclosures to consumers. Part D of TILA is the Home Ownership and Equity Protection Act. It was enacted to curb predatory lending. Predatory lending is the practice of lending designed to take advantage of consumers with low credit scores, fewer assets, and small incomes. Lenders can offer you a loan that they know you cannot afford to pay. They cannot knowingly set you up for failure with this loan. Part 2 of the CCPA is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It regulates consumer credit reports and establishes consumer rights, which currently has 3 parts. Part A of the Fair Credit Reporting Act is the Credit Card Accountability, Responsibility, and Disclosure Act. It limits fees, rate increases, and requires credit card companies to provide a consistent payment deadline. Part B of the Fair Credit Reporting Act is the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. The Dodd-Frank is always a target politically because it holds lenders to a high standard. Someone is always trying to take it down. It created an independent watchdog system to monitor information given to consumers. This system is meant to ensure consumers receive clear and accurate credit information. Part C of the Fair Credit Reporting Act is the Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act, which outlines the rights of identity theft and active duty military personnel. Part 3 of the CCPA is the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, which prohibits credit-related discrimination based on age, marital status, nationality, race, religion, or sexual orientation. It gives you the right to know why you are denied a loan. Creditors can't discriminate against individuals receiving government or public assistance. Part 4 of the CCPA is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which promotes fair, honest, and responsibility debt enforcement practices. It includes a list of rules for debt collectors. Part 5 of the CCPA is the Electronic Fund Transfer Act, which protects consumers when they transfer funds electronically. You have the right to stop pre-authorized transfers anytime. This right cannot be waived regardless of any contractual terms. You only need to notify the bank at least 3 days before the next scheduled transfer. In this video, I talked to you about the laws that regulate credit. And I have a conspiracy alert. Do not disregard the laws of credit because they can really be a game changer. You knowing and understanding the CCPA allows you to know if a lender or creditor is being fully transparent and what to ask for if you think that they're hiding something from you. I like to call it a game changer or a hidden power or something. I'm Roderick Mitchell, author of Credit Straight Talk, Clarity on the Conspiracy. Visit my blog, yourclearthinking.com, and remember, together we rise.